Okay, so this is something that's new in Live 11. Um, Tempo changes in uh, session view used to be this kind of secret code thing. The way we did tempo changes in session view prior to Live 11, if you're in Live 10 or 9 or 8 or whatever, the way you did a tempo change is you wrote it into the scene launch, the master scene launch. For example, you would say, you would go Command R to rename the scene, and you would type like 120 and then the letters BPM, and you'd press return, and that would magically tell Live that uh, it needs to change the tempo to 120 BPM when you launch that scene. That was like the magic code. You just rename the scene. So that's gone. That's gone in Live 11. And in fact, that little secret code doesn't work anymore. Um, if I launch this, like it didn't change our tempo. So that doesn't work. Here's how we do it now. It's actually like a much better way. So I'm going to go to my first scene. Okay, so I launched this and we're at 160 BPM. Okay, what we have now is on each master scene, when we click on this, we get a little something extra here. And this is our kind of scene launch info thing. So I can still rename my session or rename my scene. I can say this is the intro. Okay, so when I do that, now I can go down here and I can see intro, and I can set my tempo here. So I can say, well, let's say 160 BPM. Okay, I have a couple other things I can do here too. We'll talk more about those later. So now we see that there's a tempo that's been written into the scene, and so I get a little teal looking play button. Okay, I can set my tempo to 160. So if I duplicate all my content, just so I have something there, and now I'm going to say verse, and let's say at the verse, I want the tempo to go down to 120. Okay, so I'm going to type in 120 there. Now I get a little teal thing here. And so when I launch that, my tempo is going to jump to 120. So I'm at 160 here. I launch my verse. Boom. And I'm down to 120. Cool. So no longer do we write the tempo into the name of the scene launch. It goes down here. And that's how we change tempo in different scenes.